Mistake number 3 out of 10 when saving for retirement. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, what mistakes do people make when saving for retirement? This is a series of the top 10 mistakes out of probably hundreds that people could make, but this is number 3. Get ready. A lot of times people don't realize the impact this has on their retirement savings and why they outlive their money. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've helped people for more than 4.5 decades prepare for a comfortable retirement. Now, what do I mean by comfortable retirement? Well, having enough money to not worry about outliving that money, to be able to do the things that you want to do during retirement, travel, visit the grandkids, and so forth. But there are a lot of factors that cause people to outlive their money. In this series, I have 10 of the major mistakes people make, and this is mistake number 3. Are you ready? It's not realizing the negative impact that inflation or the cost of living going up will have on your retirement nest egg. This catches a lot of retirees off guard, and they outlive their money because they never knew how to calculate the impact of inflation and how to avoid that negative impact by linking your returns to the inflation rate. Even financial advisors go, I was never taught how to help my clients do that. So get ready, I'm going to empower you. So inflation is the cost of living as it increases through the years. And a lot of times people don't realize the negative impact of inflation or how to calculate that. Well, in order to understand inflation simply, I like to use the rule of 72. If you don't know what that is, if you're calculating how fast your money will grow, you divide the interest rate you're earning on your money, and you divide that into the number 72. And we'll tell you how many years it takes to double your money. So let's say you started out with $125,000. And let's say you were earning 7.2%. That means 7.2 divided into 72, your money will double every 10 years. Now, if you're earning 10%, because I've averaged 10.07% with my favorite vehicle called the Laser Fund, which I'll talk about here in just a moment, 10 into 72 means my money will double about every 7.2 years, every 7.5 years. So 125,000, a one-time lump sum will double to 250,000 in 7.2 years, or at 7.2% every 10 years, 9% every 8 years, at 8% every 9 years. You divide it into 72. And then the 250,000 doubles to 500,000 the next 7 or 10 years, and then 500,000 doubles to $1 million. I've actually had clients who started out with $500,000 one time. It doubled to $1 million doubled to $2 million, $2 million doubled to $4 million, $4 million doubled to $8 million, and they have $8 million now generating between $680,000 to $800,000 a year of tax-free income. It's the rule of 72. Well, you can use the reverse of that to calculate inflation. So let's say inflation is 5%. Now, inflation is the increase in the cost of living to maintain the same standard of living or lifestyle. So if inflation is going up 5%, 5 into 72 means the cost of living will double every 14.4 years. Let's just round to 15 years. Do you know that with a baby boomer couple, the chance that one of you will make it from age 65 clear to age 95 is highly likely? That's 30 years. So if the cost of living doubles every 15 years, and you can get by on $50,000 a year at age 65, then at age 80, you're going to need $100,000 to buy the same gallons of gas and loaves of bread, haircuts, golf green fees that you could have bought for $50,000 15 years earlier. At age 95, you're going to need $200,000 to buy what $50,000 used to buy. Is that making sense? Well, the government changed the way they report inflation here in the 1980s and 90s, and I'll explain what they did, which a lot of people are not aware of. Now, before I share with you something that blows people away, they didn't know what they didn't know. If this is intriguing you and you want to share this video, be sure and share, post a comment, click like, subscribe to 3Dimensional Wealth channel, because I have over 500 educational videos like this, and I post at least 5 new ones every single week to empower you, where I answer financial questions in depth for usually 10 to 15 minutes. Now, this is the third mistake retirees make. They don't know how to calculate inflation. Well, either does the government, but it's on purpose. See, after Jimmy Carter caused inflation to hit high of 13%, the government back in the 80s and into the 90s decided to change the way they report inflation. Why? Because Social Security recipients were supposed to have an increase in Social Security benefits every year based upon the actual increase in the cost of living, the CPI, Consumer Price Index. And they used to use a basket of goods approach, where they would take all kinds of like things, whether it was meat or produce or gas for your car or haircuts, and they would have this basket of goods, and they would compare every year apples to apples comparisons. Well, they wanted to change that so that they didn't have to increase Social Security benefits to the true inflation rate. Long story short, they changed from an apples to apples comparison to where they could do sort of a like type of a comparison. I'll simplify it. They basically can compare, if they want, instead of filet mignon steak one year to what it costs the next year, they can switch to hamburger. So they can compare filet mignon steak to hamburger because it's still red meat, okay? And this is what the government does. So now when they report inflation is 3 or 4%, recently, as of the recording of this episode, they were in alarm. Oh, inflation has spiked to 4.2%. Based upon the way they used to measure inflation, it's over 11%. But people get confused. They're like, 4%? Well, yeah, your computers are cheaper than they used to be, right? Well, yeah, but what about gas? People go to the gas pump, and in less than 100 days, gas went from $2 to $3. That's 50%. It goes to $4 in California. It's a 100% increase. Same thing with beef and food and everything. When they raise corporate taxes, then the corporations have to charge more for their goods and services. Folks, this is what happens when we have irresponsible government spending and the printing of money that causes inflation. So, the only way to make sure inflation doesn't make you outlive your money is you link your returns to the things that inflate. I don't like inflation any more than you do, but it doesn't hurt me, it helps me. Simply put, when inflation was 10% or higher in the 1980s, I was earning 15.5% on my favorite vehicle called the Laser Fund. Now, the Laser Fund means the liquid asset safely earning returns. Now, if inflation is at 3, I've usually earned 8. And when inflation has been 5, I've earned 10. When it's 10, I've earned 15. Folks, you have to have your money linked to the things that are inflating. Most financial advisors get a deer in the headlight look. They go, how come nobody ever taught me about this? Because most financial advisors are told just to have your money in the market and you'll come out okay. No, market volatility is the number one mistake in this series. You can watch that video if you started out on this one. But you want to have a strategy where you can outpace inflation, because what's going to happen is inflation at 7.2% will double the cost of living every 10 years. Inflation at 10% is going to double the cost of living every 7.2 years. Inflation at 12% will double the cost of living every 6 years. What does that mean? Let's say that you could get by on $50,000 a year right now. In less than 6 years, maybe 7.5 years, you're going to need $100,000 to buy the same gallons of gas and loaves of bread that 50,000 bought just 7 years ago. In less than 15 years, you'll need $200,000 to buy the same gallons of gas and loaves of bread that 50,000 used to buy. So what does it mean? The cost of living doubles every 7-10 years, maybe sooner. It means the purchasing power of the dollar is cut in half every 7 to 10 years. If you do not protect your hard-earned money, if you don't correct this mistake by linking your returns to the things that inflate so you'll outpace inflation, you will likely outlive your money. So I would implore you, claim your free copy of this book. I wrote this book. It's book number 11, and it's been flying off of our warehouse shelves. I've been sending out hundreds of these a week to people who want to take ownership of their future and avoid these mistakes. The Laser Fund is a way to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. Click on the link below or go to laserfund.com, share it with someone, and you contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost, and I will pay for the book. There's options there to listen and learn and watch and learn, but this will help you eliminate all 10 dangers, all 10 mistakes that I'm revealing in this series. So be sure and watch the other 9 mistakes also.